Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Wow, the crowd applause is great this holiday season. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wild Boar Show. I am Chris, the Wild Boar, and I'm pretty excited. The guy sitting next to me today is my guest, Mr. Jason Sanders. How you doing, buddy?
Great. How are you doing this
I'm
morning?
good, man. You got
Good.
a whole resume to talk about. I'm gonna brag about you for a little while, but this is really, really cool, and I appreciate you doing this. This man looks familiar to you, it's because you've probably been to some sort of festival or some sort of funzie that we have going on in the Oldsmar area, and he is the guy that runs around looking like a traffic cone. With a earbud in his ear, like there's a fire somewhere all the time. I never see you stop moving, buddy.
Now the events are a lot of fun, and I think it was a gag at first with that orange shirt, but it's hung on now. So
I know
that's what
Mark
it is.
Howe. It's probably because he got
Yeah.
10 of them for a buck or something like that. And he's good and strong with the budgets.
Yeah.
But obviously, we're here at Power Clean. All right. We're right
Yep.
here in Oldsmar.
Correct.
And we're going to talk a little bit about Power Clean. I want to do that. But first, I want to talk about you. So you said that you were from upstate New York. Is that right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
The upper central New York area.
What area exactly?
So Herkimer, New York is where I'm from. Small
Say Herkimer?
town. So yeah,
Or did you
Herkimer.
sneeze there?
So yeah, and then but Utica is the next biggest town to that, and then Utica, you've got Syracuse and Buffalo, to the west, and Rochester to the
Burr.
right. So yeah,
Okay.
it's cold country.
Yeah. Okay.
sure.
But you were sharing with me that you had some relatives that lived down in the Oldsmar, Greater Tampa Bay area. So you migrated.
Yeah. Most of the family's still up in the New York area, but we had on my mom's side, her parents had moved down here from New York City, and after a few years, they were getting a little bit older and needed some help, so they decided to move down here and
Come on down to Heaven's Waiting Room and chill out. All right. So
Yeah,
now, did you
never
already?
left.
Now, what's the origin of Power Clean? Did it start in New York and come down here?
No, everything started down here. The company started down here. Actually, the first company that started in Oldsmar was called Jamson Laboratories.
I
JAMSON.
remember it.
Yeah. So that was the first one. That's the one that my parents started down here in Oldsmar. A few years later, in the late 80s, they purchased Power Clean. Actually, the Jamson was doing a lot of Pinellas County, and Power Clean was doing a lot of Hillsborough County. So they purchased Power Clean, merged together, and then a few years ago, we just finally merged the two together. Power Clean had the bigger name nationally, so we kept that name instead.
I like it. It works.
Yeah.
So when I read the name Power Clean, I don't think that you're just washing cars on the side of the road. I have a feeling that there's something powerful about your cleaning. Is that correct?
Yeah, we hope so.
Yeah?
I mean, yeah.
Tell me about it. What is it? I mean, we'll get back to the
Well-
origin here in a minute, but what exactly do you guys specialize in? I just asked you some of those questions that
Yeah.
are difficult to answer, right? Because you do a lot.
Yeah, they are. Because of the acquisitions that we've done and everything over the years, we're in a lot of different areas. So we do everything from fleet washing. We'll do concrete trucks, garbage trucks, 18-wheelers, but also facility cleaning. So there's floor cleaners and hand soaps, and we'll do things for hotels and restaurants. And it's just as we've bought other companies and they've had certain lines that they've had, we've kept those and kept growing the business that way. So we're in a lot of different
That's
places.
awesome. And you're still privately held?
Yeah, still privately held. We manufacture. We've got thousands of things in our arsenal as far as formulations go, but we probably do about 900 to 1,000 every month. Different products come out of here. that go to
Okay.
different people.
And those are sold on that commercial level, commercial applications. When you say you have the cleaners for concrete trucks,
Right.
I don't see concrete trucks in a line here zipping
Correct.
down. So clearly they go
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah, no, all of that we send to their facilities and they use at their facilities, whether, like I say, whether it be a concrete plant, you'll find us there. If it's at a waste hauling plant, someone like Republic Waste or something like that, they'll have stuff on their site. So a lot of it is their facilities where we put the stuff.
Okay, we'll circle back to that in just a second. So you said that of course, you came down with them in the 70s, all
Mhm.
right? So we date ourselves, right? Back when there was nothing but we had trees and probably one traffic light, maybe.
That was it.
in Oldsmar.
Maybe, yeah.
But
Palm
you were a
Meadows, and that was it.
Tarpon Springs kid.
Yeah, so we were in Palm Harbor, at the time, before Landsbrook, so over there in that area, Tarpon Lake Villages, and Spanish Acres before that.
remember
which is, yeah. So, but anyway, so that was all zoned Tarpon at the time because you didn't have Countryside High School, you didn't have those things. So, so Tarpon Elementary for a bit, Tarpon Middle, Tarpon High for a
So you're a
year, and then
sponger.
over to Countryside. Yeah, I'm a sponger until I transferred over to Countryside.
Became a
So,
cougar.
yep, then I
All
was a
right.
cougar. So
What year did you graduate high school?
87.
87. I was an
Yeah,
86 guy.
yeah, I
How
know.
about that? I didn't know.
I knew
All right.
that.
Yeah. So that means you went by the office on occasion because I
Yeah,
was
right.
usually sitting in the dean's office somewhere over there. Yeah. Imagine that. Anybody? Is it a
wasn't me. I
surprise to
had no
anybody
time
that
for
Wild
that.
Boar was in trouble?
Yeah.
I understand. No, you were the studious type. I was not. Somebody said, "You, what are you going to talk for a living?" But anyway, so you went from there. You zipped up back north because you just couldn't get enough of that winter time to go to Syracuse. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, once we graduated, then I kind of had enough of down here for a while, so I wanted to go someplace far, far away.
Yeah.
And Syracuse fit the bill. So yeah, I did that, and then after 4 years of that, I was like, oh yeah, I remember why that's so nice down there.
Yeah, it's
And
a little bit
yeah,
warmer.
came running back home.
Got a degree in chemistry.
Yep, got a
Right.
degree. Yep, got a degree in chemistry, and medicine, and then that was it. And then
Little
took it
did you
further.
know that in the middle, well, you probably did know, that's why you left. And I got out of here a little too, but the middle 80s, the late 80s, the Miami Vice and all that stuff. As a chemist, you probably could have stayed very busy because this area was very rich in alternative sources for, let's just call them formulas, I would say.
Yeah, let's not say this general area,
Yeah.
but not too far north of here, still a lot of stuff goes on.
Crazy.
So, yeah.
It is crazy. It
Yeah.
is crazy. It's a great time. But then I would assume kind of through osmosis. So your parents are now involved. They own these buildings. They have Power Clean. You are the chemist. You're coming because you're actually the president. Yeah.
Correct.
You're the president and CEO. I
Yep.
didn't mean to sell you short. President and CEO. There it says it right there on my sheet. President, CEO, Power Clean. And you instantly you came in here, and obviously you have to learn the Power Clean business. And I
Right.
know how hard you work. I do.
Yeah.
And folks, I brag about it a little bit because you can very easily rest in your laurels, and you don't. You are a hustler, a go-getter, and that's why you're here. I appreciate the community-centric kind of approach that you take, and that's what we get along. That's the
Yeah.
people that have sat next to me in this chair somewhere along the line don't just say it, they do it. And
Right.
you're a doer. So
Yeah.
tell me about that. So you get into Power Clean and you're accumulating buildings and you're growing and
Yeah.
and your role is
Well, initially my role was, kind of pretty much chief floor sweeper.
It's gotta
it
start
was-
somewhere.
Yeah, it was, one of those things trust me, it's not like it was a long road or anything at all, but at the same
Well,
time, yeah,
Tommy
you know,
Boy.
I mean,
you got a
right.
Tommy Boy expedition.
I had to do
Star
all
Wars.
I had to do all the jobs in between, but yeah, when I first came in,
You were
that
just
was,
clean,
yeah,
right?
my father,
you were
yeah,
Power Clean. Yeah,
my
he
father was
clean.
like, you need to, learn about the warehouse, this or that or the other thing, and I didn't know anything to do any better anyway, so we started, doing that, and I was sweeping floors and all that kind of stuff, and then kind of the first time I was actually got into the office was about a year after that, and it was only part time, but we had a company we were going to pull out of bankruptcy, and he's like, "Time for you to learn the bankruptcy, laws and rules and everything." So
Interesting.
yeah, so I worked through that for the next year, pulling a company that was in Lakeland actually out of bankruptcy, and while I was still doing the warehouse work and everything else as well. So, but yeah, I've done that. I've back in the day, you can't do it anymore like this, but I used to do deliveries. You'd drive a truck, you'd package product, you'd sweep the floors, you'd do whatever, and then get into the lab, do that kind of stuff, and learn more and more of the front office type stuff. And now here I am.
Do you ever have anything just like blow up on you?
Yeah,
Boom.
yeah. Actually, I set the lab on fire once. Yeah, actually, well, I was developing a product. It was a great product and worked well, but I kind of didn't anticipate that it combusts at 70 degrees,
Whoops.
which and even in the lab, air conditioned lab, it was. Yeah, I put it out there once it started reacting, it just went poof and
boy.
started on fire. So yeah,
Get your eyebrows
live
back
and
there,
learn.
you're okay.
Yeah, it's all right. No big deal.
Love it. So the commercial application, I saw a map in one of your offices, and I saw these little red dots all over the nation. Is
Yeah.
that where you have Power Clean products?
Correct. Those are accounts that we service.
That's incredible.
Yeah, all over the nation. Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, we're obviously heavier on the East Coast and central than it is the West Coast, but we still have a fair amount of business out there on the West Coast, but room to grow still too.
Yeah, there's maybe find a lab out in Nevada or somewhere.
Oh,
that way you can
there's
blow
plenty.
stuff up. All right, let's get back to you for a minute. All right, so you go to Syracuse, obviously chemistry. What's Dad's background? Business,
So,
chemistry? What is his?
Chemistry also.
Okay.
Yep. Chemistry also. Yeah, we didn't really have business backgrounds or anything else, so that was kind of he learned on the fly with that, and then when I came in, taught me, and I don't know. You do your due diligence, read a lot of books, and talk to the right people, and
Yeah.
learn, and you figure it out. Hopefully, I hope
Okay.
I'm doing all right.
You're doing great, buddy.
Okay,
And
good.
again, this might be a good time to switch gears a little bit here,
Yeah.
because you've done so many things. So obviously, you're a member of the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce so long that you remember when it was still called the Oldsmar Chamber of Commerce. Yeah.
I remember it then, but
Yeah.
actually, we weren't members then, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah.
Boy, you
No.
talk about getting in and getting your feet wet and doing
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah. The back then with Jerry Custon, who I know, being
Sure.
in the chamber now, I know all the history and everything, even though I wasn't really there for it. Yeah, I wasn't around during that time. It wasn't until Jerry Peruzzi took over that he came in to stop in and see us one day and wanted to talk about the chamber. So Jerry's really the one. Jerry Peruzzi is the one who got me involved and brought me in.
And you've been wrecking sneakers at festivals ever
I've
since,
been
right?
tearing them up.
Isn't it true? I say this all the time. Like, you really don't know somebody until you've worked a festival from the beginning to the end and you've gone through two pairs of shoes and you sat
Right.
there and poured beer for 5 or 6 hours. That's how you get to know somebody. That's how you network.
Yeah,
And that's the network
absolutely.
side of all of that.
No doubt. Yeah, I mean, you really do get to know people pretty well with that, and you separate the ones that are there and want to help out, and the ones that are really dedicated to it, because those are the ones that have been there the whole time and filled with sweat and smell like garbage and
Oh, yeah.
all that stuff. I mean, it's just, yeah, they're the ones that really put in the work, and we have a lot of good people in the area that do that. There's a lot of people that get involved, and real proud of that fact.
Yeah, we do. And I am too.
Yeah.
I am too. And I think about it. Everybody wants to pour beer at the festival.
Right.
Nobody wants to set it up.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to tear it down.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's where we really need the help. Right.
Yeah.
Hey, I'd
Yeah.
like to volunteer. I can do a beer shift on Friday night. How about show up on Tuesday when things are heavy and sweaty and we haven't killed the ants
Yeah.
yet?
Yeah.
We'd like you to do that. Unless you've had fire ant welts on your ankles, you have not been baptized in the Oldsmar Chamber.
We do
or Upper Tampa Bay
appreciate the
Chamber
beer
of Commerce.
pours. Trust me.
We need 'em.
filling those shifts and everything else is key. So we do appreciate that.
And we've even tried to keep them sober over the years. So
Doesn't work
Does
real
not
well.
work.
No, it does not work.
That's okay. So, but you've been a chamber board member. On the board, you got yourself involved since 2017.
Correct. Yep. About then, Jerry brought me on the board, asked if I wanted to step on the board then. Yep. Which kind of started reeling me in. And, then after that, it was, they asked me to be chair, and I was elected chair. I was elected chair twice, actually.
Now, did you
That
draw
time.
the short straw the first time, and then they said
You
did a
didn't
great
know it
job?
at the first time.
Yeah, you got
the first time you didn't know it.
voluntold. They call
Yeah,
it.
exactly. I thought it was great. It was like, what an honor, And then, but then the second time you realize, you go, oh yeah, okay, well, nobody else is going to do it. So
But somebody's got to do it.
Yeah,
Well,
somebody's gotta
there's
do it.
always some hats in the ring, but maybe some hats you throw back.
Right.
Like, yeah. So the application, the wind.
Yeah.
The applications blow away. So you've done that. And you've done it great. Now you're also the chair of the Government Affairs Committee. Tell me
Right.
what that does and what your role is as the chairman, and what is your responsibility?
So really, the responsibility for me with that is, on the most basic level, I'm there to keep the relationship between the city and the chamber.
Okay.
Okay. So, that's kind of my responsibility to make sure that's going smooth and everything's fine. And if anybody needs anything, so that's kind of what we do with that. And now
Okay.
we do a lot with economic development, bringing companies into Oldsmar, retaining the companies that we do have in Oldsmar. So very business, heavy with that, which is right up my alley anyway, because we have a lot of businesses in Oldsmar and a lot of manufacturing base. So
I don't
that's
think
right where
people
I am.
realize that. I think they
No.
just figure a lot of times that we're just this landlocked pass through
Yeah.
from town and country into the Palm Harbor, Dunedin area. But there's so much more just behind. When you think about Lockheed, for goodness
Yeah.
sakes, been there forever.
Our county here for Pinellas County is second largest in the entire state for a manufacturing base. And
Did not know that.
yeah, and Oldsmar is only second to Largo in Pinellas County.
How
so
about that?
we're one of the largest manufacturing and business kind of cities in the state of Florida.
In our tiny little 11-ish square miles.
Correct.
We
Yep.
have a lot going on here, folks.
We have a ton going on. I mean, I won't get into long story or anything, but we do business visits as well with
Yep.
the city and
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
We call it We Mean Business, but
Yep.
part of what I do when Jerry and I arrange with the guys, and we were at a place, and it was probably 2018, 2019, and it's when the fad of the plastic straws, everybody wanted to get rid of the plastic straws, and they were going to paper straws and everything else.
I
So-
still use plastic straws.
Yeah. Don't tell anybody. Yeah. But we were talking to the manufacturing place that was doing it, and well, not doing the straws, but we were asking about any future projects or anything. He said, well, we're working on these straws, blah, blah, blah. So I said, silly me. I said, well, how many straws can you sell? I mean, what can you do? You're designing a straw and everything else just for the chance that you're going to put it out there. And he said, well, we have some pre-orders, So I go, that's good. I said, how many pre-orders do you have? He goes, $86 million worth of pre-orders.
$1 million.
Million. And that's in a little shop off Douglas in Oldsmar,
Oh, my God.
So you have no idea what's in your own backyard until you get out there and really start talking to people and everything. We have a massive manufacturing community here, and it does very, very well.
Well, and I'm glad Micro Lumen's here. We have so many things. Good old Wacky World Studios, right?
Yep. Oh yeah, always. That's a pleasure.
We're gonna make as many visits with the Wild Boar Show as we can because I love it and I love my city. And I didn't always love my city. I didn't know it, right? Because I went through that sort of that phase in high school where I just didn't think it was so cool.
Right.
Little did I know.
You never do.
Yeah, little did I know. But I will tell you, although we rank so high. Second only to Largo, you talk about manufacturing. I think, and I truly mean this, probably in the nation, that we rank #1 drinking beer in fields. I mean, show me somebody that does more of it and a better job.
Yeah, I can attest to that. I think I've contributed to that number a few times.
One day we'll be indoors.
Right. Yeah.
One day.
Well, we practically are now if you count Tappe Brewing Company.
Well, we had them on, Major. And
Did you really?
Anthony.
Okay,
yeah, it was a lot of fun. We were enjoying some reef donkeys at 9:30 a.m., but nobody's judging us.
That's late.
And I was on a cruise this last weekend, and they didn't have it. So what? I thought, Hey, I got a place for Major to expand.
That's
here,
right.
Because
Yeah,
I wanted some
cruise ships.
All right. So you did the government affairs, and then you also served on several Pinellas County economic development committees.
Yep.
And that's got to be interesting because there's a lot of dynamics there, right? You have
very much.
a lot of tug and pull, the raise. You've got Scientology. You have that whole debate and all that other good stuff. And it's amazing what happens with this little thumb that hangs off the side of our state.
Right.
Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes on, and like I say, I got pulled into that a little bit. Not pulled into that, but it was a good transition from everything I was doing with Oldsmar. You had to have contact with Pinellas County as well because of things that go on here in Oldsmar.
Yeah.
So then I started getting into that a little bit and getting on some of those boards and everything as well. And really, that was a real quick, steep learning curve for that because you had to really get on board quick with a lot of stuff they were doing. But once that happened, I mean, and even with that, the Tampa area, period, you've got Hillsborough. I mean, it's never been a huge, great relationship between Pinellas and Hillsborough County with some of that, but they've made huge leaps and bounds in the past 5 years with that, where they're really working together a lot more. So I started learning
because we're getting closer to each other.
Yeah. And I started learning a lot more about Hillsborough then with that too, and get involved in some of the Hillsborough stuff. So, but it's amazing what they have to deal with on a daily basis, and companies trying to come in. And I mean, when we talk about bringing in a business here, I mean, it may be a great company, but we're looking for, 30,000 square feet or 100,000 square feet or whatever. When we're talking about Pinellas County and Hillsborough County, and I'm talking to people, or if we're sitting down with them, we're talking about where they're bringing in 10,000 employees. They need a campus.
Yeah,
so
I was
they're
going to
looking
ask
for
you about
places.
Power
It's
Clean.
unbelievable.
Yeah, I hear you, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but I meant to ask that question. So, Power Clean, switching back for just a second, how many employees do you all have?
Right now, we're sitting at about 39.
39 employees, and that's crazy because it looks like you're getting a lot more done than 39 employees worth. So you have really good people working for you. Yeah. How many of those 39 employees live in the great city of Oldsmar?
Unfortunately, not a lot. I mean, most everybody and we find this place everywhere, in Pinellas County and Oldsmar and everything as well. A lot of the people come in from Pasco. There are some people here, but a lot of people come from up north, so they come from Pasco County. We do have some that are down south a little bit, but so you get a few Clearwater, St. Pete, and then mainly north is where everybody's coming from, and that's pretty much across the board for everybody. That's where most of the employees come from.
Housing's a little bit of an issue here in Oldsmar, and we're addressing some of that downtown. There's going to be some more opportunities.
Yeah, trying to. We need more housing here for people that the houses will turn over as they turn over. There's always turnover there anyway, in my opinion. So I mean, there's going to be people coming in and out with there anyway. But we do need some more kind of apartments. I would think, well, any kind of housing, however you want to build it.
Yep.
But the problem is the only space you have is really apartments,
Sure. You gotta
in
go up.
Oldsmar. So you have to go
Go
up.
up.
So, but if you had more of that here, I think more people would come and stay and be able to work here as well. Affordability always comes up. But again, it's such an arbitrary word,
It
in
is.
my opinion. They say affordable. Well, what is that? To whom? To what?
Correct.
We just need housing.
There's
Yeah, we
definitely
just need
different
housing.
definitions of that.
Exactly.
I'm
So
with you.
yeah, if we had just more housing in here, then I think a lot more people would stay in the area and be able to work in the area as well.
And along the lines of your 39 employees and where they're coming from, is Power Clean currently hiring?
No, right
No?
now we're pretty good.
Freeze?
I mean,
Okay,
yeah,
good.
a lot of if we're hiring, sales. You're always hiring for sales.
Sure.
You're always looking for people out in the field. But other than that, right now, yeah, we're good. I mean, we usually don't have a lot of turnover. In the
That
last,
says a ton.
yeah,
About, yep.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, we still have people that are here for 30 years plus that have stayed on. But a lot of people, at least 10 years, are here anyway. During the last 5 or 6 years, and some of it's because of COVID and everything too. We've had more turnover, like everybody. There was a lot of more transient people in and out, moving in and out. But as of about a year ago, we've got a really good base again.
That's awesome.
We've got some really good people that are staying. So yeah, for right now, we're doing well.
That's a huge testament. I mean, I had an opportunity to work with the Outback Boys for a few years, and it was amazing because I would never have thought of going anywhere else. I mean, when you're treated with respect and paid, compensated fairly, you just want
Let's
to
not get crazy.
inherit.
No, let's not get
N-O, no.
You want to do better, right? You
Yeah,
inherently want to
absolutely.
do better. You don't get in trouble. You just feel like, oh my gosh, if you disappoint somebody, that's almost a worse consequence than
Yeah.
actually thinking about losing your opportunity. All right, so Foundation president for 3 years with the
Yeah.
chamber.
Yep.
Okay, everybody likes the idea of smart kids.
Right. Yeah, we'd like to.
What's your
help 'em out.
biggest challenge with that?
So initially, it's a whole nother ball game, but
But it's
with the-
interesting.
yeah, with
And there's a big push, here in Oldsmar
Yeah.
about there's some people that are really grassroots and organically trying to get middle schools and high schools and
there's no doubt
opportunities.
about it. I mean, it's always hard because then you have to deal with the county and the state and everything else as well as far as actual schools go, and you can have a lot of different feelings about that. So for me, I just kind of let that go, and however they're going to deal with it, they're going to deal with it. I try not to, stick my foot in there too much with that. But, as far as supporting the schools go and everything, that's really where the Education Foundation finds its niche, which is, allowing them and giving them funds and programs to use unrestricted.
Give me an idea. Give me an example of a program if you can think of one off the top of your head.
Yeah, well, one of the things is like a STAR grant program, and that's
What is that?
Yeah, a STAR grant program is unrestricted funds that we give to a middle school or elementary school.
Okay.
And what that means is usually a lot of money they get, they're set. They have to spend certain amounts on the teachers, certain amounts
Understood.
on the classrooms, all that kind of stuff. So a lot of times they use it, and they can use it for if it's extra
Cleaners?
supplies.
No.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It was there.
It's full circle. But yeah, anything that if it's new equipment, new computers, new iPads, new whatever it is, they can use it for whatever they want that they might not actually have access to from the state side. So that's usually good for them because they can even use it for teacher appreciation, student appreciation. Some of the things like Webb High School in Hillsborough, I know it's out of our area here,
All right.
but it's one that we service. And they have probably like some others do as well, but they have a whole shop that they put in little pencils and treats and erasers and school supplies and this and that and the other thing. And they can earn points. And when they earn points, they can go in and shop and pick out some things
Love
that
it.
they like and, little things. And it's good for the kids and it keeps up morale and keeps them on a point system, keep them going.
Early affinity program. You like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. And all of that is, funded by our STAR grants where they buy all the stuff for it and everything else for the kids. So
And we raise that money through some of our festivals.
and we raise that money through some of the festivals and by going out and talking to businesses and people in the community. So, we just continue to do that and keep ourselves out there. And, then we do scholarships as well.
Well, you must love
so-
it because you've been doing it for 3 years.
Yeah, no, it's been great. It was I was very fortunate to be able to get involved with the Education Foundation when I did, and we've got a great board, and we've been building a really nice board over the last 3 years that I've been involved. So, yeah, we've got great people involved and a lot of great donors, so we're doing very well.
You know, that we keep coming back to that. Trent, of course, is sitting on the other side, and he's been on the other side while we interviewed mayors. We had Mayor Gannon on. We had once a mayor, always a mayor, Beavis says. So we had Beavis, we had Eric Sedell. But we all say the same thing. It's about the people. It truly is about the people. We got some damn good people in our area, and they're not afraid to roll up their sleeves, right? We give hands up. We don't give handouts. We do that, and we try to help. All right, on that. So a little bit more about you. This is Jason Sanders, the president of Power Clean, and I'll call him a buddy too. He is very, very active in our area, and Power Clean actually won Business of the Quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
All right. And then, but this one's awesome. This is the one when you're given even a nomination, yet to receive the award. You were indeed Citizen of the Year, man, and you're in some great company.
Yeah.
What year?
Good question. This was a few years ago.
Recently.
Not that recently, but yeah, a little reminder out there for anybody who's interested. I'm still doing stuff. I'm still here.
That's funny.
Yeah, I think the first time, with that, it was the family more than, me.
Okay.
And
humble's okay.
Yeah, it's right. I mean, it is. We had done some things recently to that, which probably prompted it. One of the things that we did around this time, in that year was we went over to Walmart and we asked them for all the layaway programs that they had in Oldsmar for Oldsmar residents there and completely paid the tab on all of them.
Dude.
Yeah. So that was something direct to something direct to the Oldsmar people that we knew would affect the community. And it was, we did it on the QT. We tried to be sly about it, but we had people that knew kind of that it, when
word got out,
word got out, this and that, and then it became a bigger deal than what it, than what it was meant to be. But, again, community centric, helping the local people. That's what we try to do first and foremost with that. And, whether it's, like I say, with chamber, a festival, the things we do like that, it's just important to do that and support and uphold your local community.
Well, I brag about you because I know how hard you work. I know when we're doing those festivals that you're always running, you always have that little bead of sweat coming off your forehead, and it's earned. Some of it might be beer from the day before, or set up, but you do it. You do it. All right. And then you also won the Upper Tampa Bay. You're an award winner with the Upper Tampa Bay Cup as well, right?
Right. Yep. That was 2 years ago, I think, and that's just kind of like we were talking about, almost like a Citizen of the Year thing, but outstanding commitment to your community and the chamber and the work that you put in and do and help out. So that was a big honor as well, especially coming from the chamber, because we have a lot of, we've said it over and over. We've got a lot of good people here in the Oldsmar area and everything else that really put in the time and effort. And the chamber, same thing. We've got a lot of good people that are involved with the chamber and do the work. Do deeds every day. So to be not only nominated, but win that cup was a big honor.
Absolutely. Wow. Talk about stiff competition. I mean, I don't know how you select somebody. They just put everybody in a big wheel.
Right. Practically. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So you've been, we forgot to mention Miss Tracy. I can't do that. Your lovely wife, because she doesn't just sit around and eat bonbons.
No.
She's a hard worker.
Yeah.
Tell me about your beautiful,
very much
your
so.
beautiful wife.
So, yeah, Tracy's great. We've been together 25 years. I'm going to get that wrong. She's going to yell at me. Don't watch the podcast. But yeah, so yeah, we've been married for some time now. Sometime. It goes.
Remember
so
that
fast.
bead of sweat that I was just talking about?
Yeah. It's so easy and it's great. I just don't even keep track of time.
That boy. No, there you go.
That's awesome.
Just put a little dirt back in the hole. You're okay.
But yeah, she's great. She's a big help. I mean, she's always been there with support and with the work that she does and everything as well. I mean, when you have somebody that strong as your partner for that, it allows me to do everything that I do. I mean, like you said, there's a lot of time and, probably more than I need to sometimes, a lot of time and effort that goes into, the business and, the chamber, the community with things like that. And she does everything she can to allow me to do those things and hold down the fort and, handle everything else. Yep. So
yes.
if it wasn't for her, I certainly wouldn't be able to do half of what I do.
I mean, that's fantastic. It truly is. And Tracy, we love you. Okay. He remembers.
And she pours beer too.
And she does pour beer.
She pours a pretty good beer.
I almost think that's some sort of like residential requirement. You know, HOA applications. We had to come and test
Yeah.
you out. We had to tryouts.
Yeah.
You come over here and see how. Yeah, we'll give you a couple. You know, you can mess a couple up, but you got to perfect that pretty soon. Otherwise, we won't let you drink beer in our fields.
That's right.
That's it. All right. So listen, we've had a great time, covered a lot of ground here. Obviously, you're a hardworking guy, and your family has been just stalwarts in the Oldsmar and Greater Tampa Bay area. What advice would you give to those folks that are watching the program now, as far as business is concerned, and the balance between balancing, I guess, life-work balance and communities in there as well, because you definitely are covering all three of those boxes. So
Yeah.
you're a dad, you're a cool husband who forgets anniversaries, and you're a multi-award winner, and you have a very, very successful business. What advice would you give to folks? Oh, gee, Chris.
Keep moving.
Keep on moving.
Yeah, just keep moving. I mean, you know, day to day, especially if you're a business owner, I mean, you understand what it takes to run a business and how difficult that can be. So, I mean, you have to spend the time, and that has to be the most important thing. That's the pump that drives everything else. So keep that going, keep that active. Everything else that you can do in the community and, you know, with your family and everything else, do. But keep that pump of the business going first, and then, you know, in your spare time, then try to make a difference.
There you go. I think, you know, I've said this for years, and I suppose it's because I was brought up in a family that that's what we did. And I always say it's not an invitation, it's an obligation. It's a pleasant obligation, but give back to the community that you live in. If you don't like something, you have the opportunity to voice it. You can do it at a city council meeting. You get 5 minutes in the citizens forum. You have an opportunity. And one of the best ways to influence and make a difference is to get involved and wreck those sneakers at those festivals and those kinds of things, for sure. I also say this, folks, and I don't work for the chamber or anything like that. I'm a member. I think I'm in good standing. Last time I looked.
I'll check my list.
But I will tell you this, that in this gigantic sea of marketing opportunities, you could absolutely go broke. Just go broke trying to advertise and market your business. But the Chamber of Commerce and the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce, or wherever you are, maybe you're in Dunedin, Palm Harbor, Safety Harbor, there's some good ones. It's basically $1 a day, I think is what it breaks down to. And now you're a member, and you are indeed surrounded by 300, 400, 500, 600 other business owners. And what you do with that is up to you.
Right.
But I tell people all the time, just keep coming, just keep showing up, just keep showing up. If you are a financial planner or you're something like that where you're going to need to get my social security number and my birth date, it's not going to happen in one visit.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
not. But if I see you and I see you setting up chairs and tearing down tents and doing some of those things with me, we'll get to know each other.
Right.
Right. And I'm telling you right now, we have open arms, and we will meet you and we will greet you. We'll help you wherever we can. We'll give you advice whether you want to take it or whether you don't want to take it. But you have access to guys just like this. I mean, he's running around most of the time trying to help somebody at those festivals. You're not just racing back and forth carrying bags of money. We don't even do it in Castles anymore. Right?
Yeah, no.
So that's my point. My point is, listen, if you're looking for an opportunity, you want to get involved, that's a great way to do that. Have anything else you want to say to these great people that are watching you today?
No. I appreciate you having me on. This was a lot of fun.
I enjoy it. I'm telling you, we'll do
enjoy
it again too. And maybe one day we'll do a little tour of Power Clean, like you just gave me, and you can show me like where the poof happened.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, anytime we can do that, or I don't know, we'll find something else
If
to
you
talk
wonder where
about.
they're located, it's not too far from the funeral home or the fire station, so we're good there. But, ladies and gentlemen, my friends. This is Jason Sanders, who's been with us. He's the president of Power Clean, located right here in the great city of Oldsmar. My name is Chris the Wild Bohr. I'm an auctioneer, real estate broker. I can sell your house and everything inside. Thank you so much for swinging by. Make sure you like and subscribe. We're out.